everyone, welcome back, and sorry for the long silence. I had a cold and I lost my voice. It's still in recovery mode, but I think I sound a little better. Um, Although I get a bit winded easily, so now it's just like I had to take this medicine called Revoice, and basically in 3 days I started speaking again. So I just had to keep taking it for like 5 days, and then it was fine. But I still have tired vocal cords. Or maybe it's because I haven't drunk my coffee. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the books I read in July. We're in August. July to this mid of August, because for the most part I didn't really like read too much, like many books as much as I usually do. But I read quite a good number. Well, less than 10, obviously. And the first one was Kiss Kiss by Roald Dahl. Oh my god, he is wild. And this book was just like one of those purchases you're like, I'm just gonna get it. And then I found out that he's the one who has written Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which is also like quite interesting. I haven't read that. It's a children's book, which is not exactly pleasant. The main reason I actually got this book was because I saw on the author description that he had been enlisted in like at Nairobi to like a war in the Libyan desert, in like in his lifetime. So I thought, wow, that's someone who has actually lived an interesting life. So I read this, and he is amazing, genius, and it's more like unpleasant, but horrifying and really good short story collection. My favorite one was actually, the most horrifying one was actually Pig. There's one called Pig, and then the other one that was really like unpleasant. And then the other day I saw like royal jelly in a vitamin store is royal jelly. And yeah, I think if you're interested in some kind of horrifying, grotesque transformation, or like feelings that people can confront and impose on others, I guess Kiss Kiss would be like really good. Then the majority of the month was spent reading Humanly Possible by Sarah Bakewell, which I still haven't finished. I have a few pages left, but I'm postponing them because I have been side questing, obviously. So while reading this, I started side questing on Oscar Wilde. So I read The Picture of Dorian Gray. I kept saying The Portrait at some point. And yeah, so this book is very good for side questing because she really does a good job of introducing you to thinkers within a genre or group of knowledge base, I guess. So humanism is this one. I have the existentialist one, and you can get like a global view of who was where and what they were doing and how they influenced each other, and how this areas of knowledge that we refer to for moral and also like personal kind of development character, or I guess like philosophy in general. This ideas, how they developed, who was doing what, how each of them influenced each other. So Sarah Bakewell, 10 out of 10, maybe 100 out of 100, because this is the best storyteller. It's like Vasari the lives of artists. Like if you've read that, you just sit and you're like, my God, this is like gossip, but it's also very informative, and you get like a good chunk of reference material to go through and find books that you might be interested in. So Humanly Possible by Sarah Bakewell. Oh, really good. So my side quest obviously led me to the portrait of the picture of Dorian Gracie. I already say the portraits. My goodness. I don't know what to say. I hated Harry. I can't really review a book right now. I'm just giving you an overview. But Harry, horrifying man. But obviously Dorian Gray. But Sibo. Is it Sibo, the artist? I felt bad for him. It's well told. It's really good, like beautifully written. The pacing is impeccable. The craft of writing in this book just shines. And this is a book that, I mean, I now understand why. Classics, well, this is Gothic literature, horror Gothic. And, well, there's no way of saying this one, that it's one or the other, because it's like, it's just beautiful. 100 out of 100. And obviously read it. It's a classic. You'll find it beautiful. And there are some characters who are not well written, obviously. Like, I thought the female characters one was just glossed over. But I think maybe that was intentional, because the main story is Dorian Gray and all that. Observations by Jane Harris. Writing style really genius. I read this book up to like maybe chapter 20, and then I listened to the rest of it, because at the time I got the author like narration on my phone, so I just listened to the last part of it, and it was really well written. I like the voice, the way she has a way of writing. I think this is a good study on the narrator, like how to make the narrator shine through, and like different kinds of narrators. A very unreliable one, mischievous, and also very like good at telling. So I couldn't even tell, like, is this Jane Harris speaking, or, I mean, it's very good. So it's like a writer in a writer. It's like writer in a writer story. So she's also writing a book or writing diaries. So this is fiction, but it's pretty good. For people who are interested in like narrative within a narrative, where the writer is writing a book. Yeah, this is pretty good. Not for everyone, obviously. Sorry. A Room of One's owned by Virginia Woolf. Please read it. If you're a woman or a man or anyone who is interested in writing, I think this would be a very good motivation to get your pens down. Look, I just want to show you how I annotated mine. Like, I wasn't like, there's no way there was any page I couldn't find something I wanted to write about or also like reference later. She really is tedious in the sense that she doesn't get to the point, but that's what stream of consciousness is. If I would have expected anything else, it would have been, I should have just gone to some different author, but yeah, it's pretty good still. And then another one I read is a Shakespeare, because why did I read Shakespeare? I thought, it's about time I get into Shakespeare. It seems that people make it such a big deal, that it's difficult to get into it, but I picked A Midsummer Night's Dream. A Midsummer Night's Dream, and it's right here. A Midsummer Night's Dream. Guys, Shakespeare is like a genius. Well, he is a genius. I picked it because Virginia Woolf talks about Shakespeare being one of the authors who actually writes women very well. And I wanted to see that for myself while I was still fresh from Virginia Woolf. And I do agree, like, there's equal amounts of malice from both male and female characters in this fairy, it's like fantasy, it's like magical fantasy, not realistic, because the world of fairies and the world of humans merge. So it's like one of those movies. I think it's the film that they made an adaptation of the Snow White stories. What is it? Once Upon a Time. It's like Once Upon a Time where human affairs like confuse each other, and they actually magical being affairs transform themselves into human lives and actually affect them. Because yeah, so I think I have overspoken by 1 minute. I think that's unfortunate because I'll have to edit this out. Thank you so much for watching. But I made Summer Night's Dream. Really good Shakespeare. I mean, it's very, like, I didn't read the introduction before I read the rest of it. So I was able to just get into it. So this was really good. And then I still haven't finished reading the introduction. I rarely do read introductions. I think it's okay to read a book as it comes, as it is. Try to understand it. Maybe if you really find that you're struggling, then you should go back and read the introduction. But that's not the point. It's a piece of art. It can stand on its own. It doesn't need to be described. And I think that's good writing in general. So yeah. This could be a good Shakespeare book to start with because all the women are as well. At the beginning I thought, ooh, but then eventually it became clear that he is quite a fair writer. I think he's like Virginia Woolf described him. He is a male writer among a few who took the time to develop female characters with equal amount of urgency and autonomy as any other male writers, and not just objects of some kind of fate that's defined by men, I guess. Thank you so much for watching. I think I'll just upload this. I don't have to put it through Softwatch. I think I do. So that would be difficult. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. And it's hot. Please drink enough water. And yeah, it's always pleasant to just talk about the books I'm reading. I don't think I'm recommending any book. I'm just sharing my human need for reading and talking to people. Tell me what you're reading. I would love to know. Tell me how you side quest with your books. I think this is so interesting because sometimes people think, okay, I'll go online. No, I don't go online to look for books. Sometimes I do. If someone points out like an author I've never read, I'm like curious and I'm like, okay, I need to look into that author, because that's what sharing is about. And the other thing is that going into bookstores, especially used bookstores, because most of them are not curated like in like a very niche way that you would only find all this new kind of books. My circle, and don't tell anyone, we like to call them fast fashion books. I don't think it's the correct term, but it just came and it stuck. So I don't like fast fashion books. I love old books. Give me an old cover. Well, except I keep reading these. But it's because Wordsworth editions are quite cheap and they have nice covers and they're not terrible at all. Like the reading inside is not terrible. I should stop talking. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.